Fame, drive a nigga crazy. Now I got mine, I'm Swayze.
This is real, son. This is really real, son.
If it
This is real, son.
let me
This is
real, real, something I can feel, son. Hey Google, stop playing music.
There's a little stereo. I listen to some champion. Always wonder. And I'ma be the number one.
But right now, we gotta do Two Bros Podcast.
Episode 81.
God dot. To all you party people, lames and losers, lovers and haters.
81 episodes in.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How about yourself?
Not too bad at all. Little nippy, getting
Yes.
cool.
Well, it's you know,
Supposed to be.
it's supposed to be. It's November.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be. This is supposed to be what it's supposed to be.
Yes.
I'm just glad it's like the sun's out.
Yes.
When the sun's out, yes. Nice cool weather.
Yeah, because
brisk.
I can open up the blinds.
Yeah.
The warmth comes in from the sun.
There
I
you
don't
go.
have to turn on the heat.
There you go.
However, I'm having some trouble with the heat, so I
Uh-oh.
make a service call. It's just not kicking on.
Not kicking on?
Yeah, I
At
think
all?
just some pipes need to be bleeded. I think
Okay.
the air needs to come
Bled.
out. Bled, yes, bleeded,
Bleeded.
bloody along the way.
Them bleed the goddamn pipes. No.
Yes. So yeah. So for those of you who missed episode 80,
It's a shame you did.
it's a shame you did because we had a nice time. We had a great time in a monsoon of a weather,
I know that was
and then
horrible.
turned out to be beautiful afterwards.
It did, didn't it?
It did.
You saw, like, if you like looked at the sky,
Yeah.
it's kind of like the sun said, "Fuck this."
Yeah. I
I'm
gotta get
taking
some shit
over.
on. Right. Yeah. Basically, it was like, oh, okay, you done? You
Right.
done?
You done
raining?
playing,
You
raining,
done raining?
making people all depressed and shit.
Indeed. But we had a wonderful show at the Burger City in East Meadow. Spent the afternoon with Dom, one of the owners, Mr. JR, and he gave us all the insights of starting a burger business.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you thinking about that, I thought of trying to open a burger business, a burger shack, or burger, fish and fry.
It would be very similar to what he has in Burger City.
Yeah. I wouldn't want more than that.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's the the caveat right there. I mean, that gives you the where you want to be.
One of the things that he did that I forgot to ask him, when he first started, they were cash only. They were a cash only business. They just recently started accepting cards.
Yeah, I guess once you go into the Twitter sphere, right? You go into the.
Well, once you make some money, I think you gotta
Yeah.
because if you take cards, you got to give up maybe 1.5, 2 percentage points.
Yeah, but also in order to do what he said, like the Grub Hubs and all the other stuff. I mean, that's a huge chunk of the business. I
Yeah.
forgot to ask him how much percentage wise is that business. Does it help make those numbers? Because I'm sure it does.
Yeah.
I'm sure that business helps you. But yeah, great episode, great
Yes.
guy. If you haven't checked them out, go check out Burger City or the one in Queens, Ridgewood, Queens.
I'm glad we didn't. I have to say though, I'm glad we didn't have to go out to Ridgewood, Queens,
Me too.
because it was it was like a last minute thing.
Yeah.
Where they emailed me back and they says,
Yeah.
"Oh, can we do this at the Ridgewood location?" And
What?
I wasn't gonna say no.
Right.
So I was like, "Oh yeah, sure, that's no problem." Like,
Sure.
damn, that's like I looked it up. That's about 40 minutes.
Yeah, that shit's out there.
That's
Well,
But then at the last
for-
minute, he said, "No, we can do it at East Minute." I say, "Oh God, thank you so much."
Right.
Jesus
but that
loves us.
40 minutes for you is the same for me going that way. You 40 that way, me 40 that way.
Right.
Yeah. So either way, it was the same.
Oh, okay. So you had to do 40. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was 40 minutes.
Well, tough shit. Suck it up.
Yeah.
You did it for the episode.
Yeah.
And you carried gear.
And I carried gear.
Did
in
your wife
the rain.
like the sandwich? Oh God.
You can't tell with her. You can't tell because she will not admit it. I think that's what it is. She
Oh,
won't-
really?
Yeah, she won't admit.
That's a weakness. That's
I don't know.
That's like
I don't know. I don't. I dare not try to figure this out because she will eat it and have this look on her face like, is it good? Is it yum? Is it, And I think
should I do this again?
Yeah, and I think she wants to know. Wait, what the hell
What's going on?
Like she wants to know the backstory. Who are these people? What am I eating? Where is this
history?
from? Yeah. And like it makes a difference. Like, no, does it taste good?
Do you know the history of every place you go eat?
This is wonderful. This is what I would like to know. I would beg to ask.
When you pull in to get a smoothie,
Yeah.
you know, because you know, hey, I'm in for a smoothie, and you go into a smoothie shop. Do you need to know the history of the smoothie shop
Yeah.
before you?
Yeah,
before
you
place
know,
your
it was
order?
just weird. Her reaction. First of all, she wasn't feeling well. That was
Okay.
that was the one thing. You know, she's been dealing with some gas, what is it, acid reflux,
Acid
and all
reflux.
that other
Okay.
stuff.
All right. That's understandable.
And she's taking meds and watching what she's eating. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of indulgement, you know, a chicken sandwich with bacon and cheese.
Oh,
and,
yes.
all that good stuff on it.
I think my wife enjoyed it more when she found out that JR gave it to us.
Yeah,
You know,
come.
because she thought when I went there I was just gonna, you know, bring stuff back, which I would have.
I was gonna buy. I was prepared to buy.
We were prepared to
stuff
buy
and
everything. Once
yeah.
again, thanks JR for
Yeah.
hooking
thank
us
you.
up.
Thank you for that.
But I think my wife enjoyed it more when she realized that, oh, you accomplished this, and I think she took bigger bites
Ooh.
out of the sandwich.
Ooh,
It seemed
lovely,
like-
lovely. But yeah, I you know, always great. And if you have a business that needs some opinionating for, and you need people to try your food,
Absolutely.
we'd be more than
Hit
willing.
us up. You know the spots.
Yeah.
DM us on Instagram, on Twitter.
Yeah, and
send
we-
us an email.
Yeah, send us
Gmail, Gmail 1. No, Two Bros Podcast 1. I'm trying to figure out who Two Bros Podcast is. Because when we
type it up.
did
Just
the thing, it's like, oh, that one's taken.
Taken.
Like, what do you mean that's taken?
well, email
That's a good idea.
them. Email.
Say,
them
who
and
are
say,
you?
Who are you, motherfucker?
Maybe we could have a joint venture.
I do.
Like the Real Two Bros Podcast. Will the Real Two Bros Podcast stand up?
When you verbally search Two Bros,
Mhm.
there is a plant. I don't know if you know this. There's a plant called a tuberose. A tuberose.
Tuberose?
Yes, a tuberose. And when you say it, depends on how you say it.
Okay.
And this is where these robots get it all fucked up, you know. Accents and,
Right.
and different vernaculars. This guy comes up as an Indian guy. I want to show you the tuberose. It's a wonderful plant, and if you kill your garden, make it look nice with the tuberose.
But that's no different than when you search stuff.
Yes.
Like when you start typing in something, it gives you all these
options.
like suggestions. And there was this comedian who had a great bit, and he said, if this was a person, you'd hate this person.
yeah, you'd hate
Like
him.
you start saying, "Hey, do you know where it pays you? Pacific Ocean?" No, that's not what I'm saying.
Let me
You just
fucking
wait
finish.
till I'm done.
Let me type the whole fucking thing out. Yeah, that does annoy me, auto type. But then it's a gift and a curse, because then when I don't have it on, I fuck up and I want it corrected.
You got an idea of what it is, and then you go, one, two, oh, there it is.
What I hate is I would say hate, but I don't like when people when I'm typing something and someone. One of the hardest things to do is work when someone's standing over your shoulder.
Yes.
Typing,
Yes.
working, doing any function that you could do sight unseen. You
Yeah.
can do it, but someone's standing over you.
And all of a sudden it becomes,
Yeah, you gotta put an I after T. I know, motherfucker. Like, I know what the fuck I'm doing, but I have to go through it in order to fix it. So chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
Stop staring over my shoulder and wait till it's done. Yeah, you're gonna put you gotta do A and B. And, yeah, okay.
Yeah. And it begs the question, why aren't you doing it then? If
Right.
If like
That's
if-
usually
if-
what I'm
if
doing. I'm
you're
doing
doing all this stuff. I'm usually doing something for you.
for you, for someone else. Good point. Do it your fucking self. That's the fucking theme today.
Oh man.
So how was your week?
Week's pretty good, man. Week's pretty good. Lost Mr. John Witherspoon.
Man, indeed, what a loss. Sorry
Yeah,
to hear. And at 77 only.
Yeah, relatively. I mean, lived a good life, but
Yeah.
relative. I guess I don't know. Is 77 young? I guess it's relatively young,
It's
right?
young because
He seemed young.
yes,
I should say that he seemed young.
Well, he had shows booked like Monday, like like. I mean, it was
He had shit to do.
He had shit to do. I mean, and I saw an interview on Vlad TV when he was just 76, or 1 year ago, maybe less than, like before he turned his birthday. He mentioned the health, and Vlad even asked him, are you okay? Like people keep saying you passed out on stage. You dehydrated, you this and that, and he said, "Look, I'm fucking 76. Like, I'm still out here. I'm doing it. The lights. I had a cold." He said he took some Mucinex and drank wine. It's not a good combination.
All right.
He said drank Mucinex and wine, But you could see in that video, and I'll put a link in there. I always say that and I never do it.
We may put a link.
May put a link in there, but you go look it up yourself. Vlad TV.
That's right. You don't need us to.
He looks very bloated. Like very bloated, and he talks about his high blood pressure.
Okay.
Having strokes and
Strokes, plural.
Like oh shit, that was a stroke. Huh?
Oh.
All right, call me Monday. Yeah, can't come out today. Like you call somebody like, nah, I got a cold today. Nah, I had a stroke today.
No, I had a stroke.
Yeah. He wasn't well with his blood pressure and all that other stuff, which seems to fucking attack everyone nowadays. The cancer and blood pressure is just. I'm seeing rampant. Everyone's dying. I mean,
They're like street gangs. They just
run through the neighborhood.
grabbing people.
Yeah, they just grab through, come through like. Remember in Ghost with Patrick Swayze?
Yeah.
Those little things. That's fucking cancer. I'm gonna take you back with me.
Oh man.
But yeah, God bless, man. His
Yeah,
family.
bless him.
I don't know who he survived by.
He's got I think he's got a son who's in the business. I think he's got a son who's also a comedian. I think.
He told the story of the first guy that picked him out was Clint Eastwood.
Oh really?
Yeah. Clint Eastwood hired him for a show that they would a sketch show or something like that, and he was the warm up guy, like the Dolomite was.
Right. Okay.
He was the MC.
The warm-up. Right.
And get everybody ready and talking to him. And the guy said, "No." The Clint Eastwood said, "That's him. That's the guy. We done. We don't need to see no more. We want that guy. He's fucking funny."
Oh, okay.
He did say he reached. We're talking about salary wise, because they asked him, "Are you mad about the the Monique thing and where you stand on the men versus women in pay?"
Oh, okay.
In pay, and he said that bitch is crazy. Like, get your money, fill seats, and prove them wrong.
Prove them wrong.
Prove them wrong by packing a house. Do a tour. Pack the place, man. Stop whining. And I think we said this before. We was bitching and moaning about it.
Before you crying about it. You have the and making videos about complaining about it.
Yeah.
So you could do the same thing and do a show.
Could have made a show.
Could have made a show.
Could have made a free show, a YouTube show on YouTube, and see how see your following, see if you really got the bandwidth.
Yeah.
To fucking cast the dragon. But I God bless, man. I really was looking forward to that Friday reunion.
Were you?
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Somebody put something out. I can't remember if it was on Twitter or Instagram. Bless John Witherspoon. When is the? Just want to know when the services are. Is it going to be Friday, next Friday, or Friday afternoon? Which I thought was hilarious.
That's hilarious.
But then I retorted back. I said, "Well, let's hope it's Friday, because the other two dates don't work."
Okay.
In other words, in my opinion, next Friday and Friday after next sucked.
Oh, okay. All right.
That wasn't as funny as the I know, right?
I'm here all week. I enjoy the Friday series, all of them, even the corny ones, because, me personally, I like corny if it's corny. Like if it's stupidly corny, like
corny under the knowledge that it is corny.
It's corny, yeah. That it's gonna be corny. It's supposed to be goofy. No different than watching, Mo, Larry, and Curly. You know what I'm saying? When you watch the Three Stooges, you don't go, "Hey, that's not real. That's not, Well,
no, that's not. I don't know. There was something to me. There was an authenticity that was in Friday that they were trying to recreate in the other two, but just didn't happen.
He speaks on it again, and sorry to revert to Vlad's interview with him. It was it had a lot of information on it, which I didn't know. It was one of those guys that you don't really look at them while they're alive. You just see their work, and he's so funny. He's got just a funny personality, and he said most of his whole entire career was ad-lib.
Stuff, yeah.
He did very little writing and stuff like that.
Apparently, Eddie Murphy was willing to shut down Boomerang if because apparently they didn't want John Witherspoon.
Yes, correct. He talks of that also. He said the same thing. Yeah, and he said Eddie Murphy said
like, "Nah." So
gotta have this guy.
We're done if he's not in there. And he said, "Well, he doesn't fit." He was like, "We know he doesn't fit.
Right.
He's just gonna,
That's the point.
We know."
mushroom belt.
That's right.
Got to coordinate.
Coordinate
Yeah.
and whatnot. Oh man, so rest in peace, man.
Rest in
Hope
peace.
hope your family's doing okay.
Yeah.
Hope those you left behind are doing all right, and know you love, know how many people love you.
Yeah, indeed. But what I was starting to mention was the reason why the second and third failed is because it was so successful. Okay, the first one, it was low budget, no money, and everyone was trying to make themselves a career. By the time the second one came out, everyone had a name for themselves.
Had a career.
And it was a thing to do to keep it going, not a thing to do to survive. Like, it wasn't your first time. You know what I'm saying? It was no more firsts. You did it already.
Yeah.
So, and that's why the Chris Tucker and all the other stuff and just didn't work. You know, this guy was a megastar now, doing Rush Hour movies, doing fucking. Is that the bomb? Is that a bomb?
Oh well, in my opinion, something should have been left alone. I think Friday was one of those. It would have been, to me, Friday would have been I guess it still is. It still is a classic, but kind of like the other two kind of like put a damper on it, because you got to make sure. Hey, you want to watch Friday? You want to make sure which one we're talking about, right? Before
Friday
you
after
put
next.
Which one are you talking about? That one
next Friday. I enjoyed them all. I would watch them all. I watch those. I watch the house parties. All the house parties.
No,
come on, man.
All of them?
Yes.
Oh,
even with the little bad creations.
Oh,
because they're meant to be corny. They're meant to be slappy corny.
I think I have a greater. I think I like those more than I like the other two Fridays.
The other house parties?
The other house parties, I think
2,
I
3,
like
and
the
house falling on people.
Right, it's just whatever. But that was another one, which house party was like a classic.
Classic. Because, again, Robin Harris, when you have an iconic, funky father role that you just can't replace guys.
Can't replace
like
that, yeah.
Just trying to duplicate that is always hard to do.
It is hard to do.
What else on the scene? I saw Black and Blue, the movie with Naomi Harris and Tyrese. No. No. Again, just my opinion. Tyrese, which listen, we love Tyrese. He's a great actor. I think he's come such a long way from that Coke commercial or Pepsi, whatever it was. Yeah. I think the Instagram rants and all him crying and all his emotional stuff over the past has spoiled it. So I'm waiting to see him not in a Fast and Furious movie. That's number one.
Yes.
I haven't seen him in anything outside of Fast and Furious in a while.
No, in the Fast and Furious and
Baby Boy.
And wasn't he in the Transformers thing?
Yes, he was in Transformers and Four Brothers. He was in Brothers or something like that.
But that wasn't a franchise, though.
No.
Not a franchise. I'm talking about like franchise.
Oh, franchise. Oh, yeah. Well,
so you go
sure.
the 37 Fast and Furious movies.
Yeah.
And the 18 Transformer movies.
Yeah. Which I've lost. You
get to a point where you're like,
didn't you kill this motherfucker? You see
Fast and Furious. Oh, you mean the dudes in the car? Like every time I see a advertisement about a movie with people in the car, I just assume it's Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
So it's like, they're making an 80th Fast and Furious now.
Well, in this movie, and again, for those who haven't seen it, if you be my guest, go out and see it. Naomi Harris, is I think her name Naomi Harris? Naomi Harris. Yeah. She's British. This British invasion is going wildfires. I mean, if you have a British accent, you can get work in this town. Yeah. It's easy. They just pay you
Social Security.
What?
They don't have to pay you a certain way.
Oh.
If you're British.
If you're from England, like you live there.
If you're a British citizen, yes.
Not like Moni Love, where you've been here forever. And
was Moni Love really British? I've always thought that was a phony ass accent.
She still has it to this day.
Yeah?
And she lives like in Atlanta somewhere or something.
It just always, she's had it all the time. And I'm like, you know what? for a while, I was like, I'm going to watch every goddamn thing her name is on to see if she slips. That just always seemed like a phony accent to me.
Well, oddly enough, like the what I was saying to started this conversation was these British actors who have to put on an English accent, since Idris Elba, since The Wire, you know what I mean? Like you go back to The Wire when this guy was playing, Stringer Bell.
Yeah.
was that makes it more of an act, like they're really acting because they speak the other way. So that's what makes it like, wow, this guy can really act. He's really sounds American, you know. And sorry for you Americans who actually sound American and can't act. Who the fucking thunk it?
Y'all better start speaking Spanish. Or something.
Right, do something else. Imague! Ando con dures! Arroz con pollo!
Fucking Idris Elba. It's like every time Idris Elba shows up, you just go.
Well, speaking of such,
I don't have a chance anymore.
Speaking of such, I just saw a commercial for one of the games, NBA 2K or something, and Idris Elba's in it.
He's in the commercial.
The fucking commercial for the game, and
even the commercials.
I said, why? Who put this guy here? And he's doing this look. And I was like, damn, this guy can get work on a fucking Sunday.
He's also a DJ.
Yes,
apparently a pretty good DJ as well. Like he does he's got like tours and stuff that he does. And
there's a whole Netflix special. A show, a sitcom, like a British sitcom of him and his DJ, and it's supposed to be his career, like his real
DJ career.
Yeah, something. It's like one of those funky DJs or whatever else. Not hard to do. If you ever go to London and you go to Brixton, which is the hood of London, it's funny, you know, to see tough guys, you know, with the English muffin, you know, talk to you. Hey, but what, you know, and it's like, you're not tough. You're not serious, are you? What did you say? And it's funny when you see them, and then there's this movie called Top Boy. So everybody's like, "Oh, get on this Top Boy." It's on Netflix or something. And I'm like, I can't watch this. It's like a British Wire, and it just doesn't do it.
Doesn't do it for you?
No. Now I will say I can relate because I've been to Brixton. Like when I first went to London for work, I told the driver, I said, you have to take me to the hood. I got to see what the London
what it is. Yeah,
I got to be around real people. And he says, I don't think you want to go to, this shit is tough up there. He said, we don't even go that far. And he said, and after 10 o'clock, you can't come back.
Oh!
So I was like, what?
So we ain't coming to get you.
Not even, no cars, no cabs, nothing. Like I was like, what is this? And it was like, nah, man, you better have a place to go when you go there.
Well, maybe that's why that place is like that. Because if after 10 o'clock you can get out, maybe that'll make it a little bit better.
Yeah, but I thought of the people that work there, or like commute, and you know, what if you go to work and then you get home late, or you can't get there, and like their trains stop at like a certain time, and they stop, and it's like, no, you're not.
We ain't doing this no more.
Yeah, no more. And I'm like, wait a minute, what about the people that are on it? He said, no, it will go to the next stop, and then that's it. You got to get off.
Wow.
It won't even finish. It won't, like if you, I hope I catch the 2:20. I mean the 1 o'clock train, and it should get to there by, no, at 1 o'clock the next stop, boop, it gets off and it's over.
Woo!
And I'm like, wait, where am I? But you have Piccadilly Circus, Piccadilly Circus,
Piccadilly Square,
Piccadilly Circus.
So that's deep.
I could, maybe I was doing it wrong. Maybe I didn't know how to do it. But you know, when I was by myself, kind of figuring London out, very tough to do. And then James and our family and stuff like that, they like live up in the rails, so they take like the commuter rails. They're like in the city.
Okay.
So they're like, yeah, good luck. You know, like, good luck in the city. We don't know how that shit works.
We stay away from that.
Indeed. So yeah, Black and Blue, not a decent movie, nothing you haven't seen before.
Typical.
Yeah, very predictable, very, you know, like Crooked Cop, body cam, and, you know, all of a sudden. And as if, one of the things that struck me technically, and I have to find out if this is true, I can't believe it is true. It's a mouse. Hear him?
Yeah.
He's up here. Somewhere. He's going to fall on us one day.
That's more than a mouse.
Think it's a squirrel?
It's got to be a squirrel or something.
Could be.
It's just too bad. It's just making too much noise.
Making too much noise.
Or I hate to say, it could be a rat. Now, if it's a rat, good luck.
Yeah. He's trying to get through.
Probably is a squirrel. Though.
Yeah, he bothers me all day when I'm working and shit, and like, die, motherfucker. Nothing I can do. and can't rip up the fucking walls to find you. I don't know. How'd you get in here? You know.
Well, that's the thing. You got to figure out how to get in there. You can get an exterminator to
Yeah.
and they'll at least figure out how they got in.
Well, they basically said, look, this is easy because you can go in and head these light fixtures here. You know.
But not from in here. They'd be coming from.
Yeah, I don't know how he got in, man. He came in from outside somewhere, crawled in through some vent holes.
You were
in the
making a
furnace.
point. I'm sorry. Before
I
we
know.
started, black and blue, typical.
So the technical aspect of it, which I want to find out, is the story premise is based on the idea that her body cam is independently a body cam. So
Independently operated.
yeah. So
Okay.
She filmed something. She doesn't. It has to be downloaded to the server. You know.
Okay.
When you come back, I don't know if that's true, and that would seem stupid.
Yes.
Because then you could just say, "Hey, I lost it." You know.
Yeah.
You know how? That's impossible.
Yeah.
That they're remote and they just record what you have. That's like what we have as little trick cams and stuff like that. So doubt if that's real.
I think what it is. I think you have every time you make a stop,
Yeah.
you have to turn on and you have to announce your stop.
Yeah.
So car blah blah blah, stop. For a traffic on blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
blah, blah, whatever. And then you have to turn your cam.
I just thought that was pretty weird. I was like, can't be that serious. Like, oh, find her and we'll get that body camera and we'll destroy it and whatever else. And then I was like, man, you're chasing this woman around. I don't know if it's Detroit, New Orleans, wherever it was. You're chasing her around all to catch this. And I thought these things were like Facebook Live. I thought they were like, not publicly where everybody could watch a cop, but but at least the precinct was always uploaded on the cars have Wi-Fi, or maybe every time she gets into Wi-Fi, it connects or something like that. I don't know. So I'm thinking that the whole movie based on a false premise is stupid.
This is stupid.
That was the point I was getting to. That the movie, if that's true,
We started off with a lie. So
right? That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. So I would love to know that any of you police officer friends that are wearing any body cams, and if a rat or a squirrel seems to fall top of
through
our
here.
head,
Let's see if we can keep it going.
Yeah.
We'll see if maybe we'll stop.
The air gun is locked and loaded, so we will shoot that fucker if we can.
That's a squirrel.
Yeah,
That's a squirrel.
yeah, it's a squirrel
You got a squirrel in your.
in my attic,
You got a squirrel in your shit.
in the crawl space.
You got a squirrel in the squirrel.
He's been there a while.
Yeah.
He's been there about 2 weeks now.
Well, it's getting winter time, so they're
Yeah.
hiding stuff.
Yeah.
They're hiding food and they're making sure they got a spot for,
Well, I don't
for
know
the
if
kids and.
Yeah, if you haven't seen my backyard, it's acorn heaven.
Yeah.
I mean, it's full of fucking acorns. I mean, I'm like, these things are just plentiful. Like, wow, I wish I ate these. Be full for days. Make some acorn
Or
butter.
you can teach Cassie how to go get squirrels.
Yeah, he's no good at that.
You ever see those? You ever see those rat dogs?
A what?
Places that have farms
Yeah.
usually have one of the problems you have a farm is you have vermin.
Yeah.
Mostly rats,
Yep.
and they fuck up your crops and they mess up your equipment because rats
Right.
will eat anything. So they'll get into the equipment and gnaw on wires and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And so a lot of places have what are, I guess they're trained rat dogs. In other words, they can smell out rats, and then what you do is you go through this process in which you dig up the soil, and as the rats scurry around, these dogs come in, grab them, like shake them, to kill them, and then get rid of them. And they get like hundreds of rats at a time during this thing.
Oh my god.
So you can train Cassie how to be a rat dog or a squirrel dog.
He loves chasing squirrels. Yeah. It just, I fear the moment he catches one because then they'll scratch him up. Yeah. Nah, they'll just scratch.
They'll kill him.
Yeah, they'll kill him.
Like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Thought we were just playing.
He does that with dogs. That's why he gets bit all the time. He's always getting bit. Chases.
He's got the small. You got the small dog syndrome.
Yeah, Napoleon
Hey,
dog.
hey! Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I'm
Sorry,
bad.
man.
I don't know that was you. I don't know that was yours.
Indeed. Nationals.
Tell me about it, man.
I don't know. You tell
Nice.
me. Washington
Nice.
Nationals are the champions.
The Washington Nationals are the World Series champions. During this course, they beat the two teams with the best records in baseball, Los Angeles Dodgers and the Houston Astros. Nice. Shows you. That's why I like baseball. Because you gotta play it.
Yeah. Anyone can win. I mean,
You gotta play it out. If you're doing the right thing at the right time, it's like the rules of baseball sort of supersede anything, any amount of talent you might have, or any type of
Star
skill
power.
you might have.
Any star power,
Right.
right?
Like what happens in baseball sort of like supersedes any of that. You know, you can, talent can override things in basketball, in my opinion, in basketball. Talent can override certain things in football, and soccer and hockey and all that stuff like that. I don't think that can happen that can't happen in baseball.
Yeah. So the National League has the title, right?
Yes.
When was the last time National League had the title?
It was the year before. No, it was Red Sox. It was the Analysis. Before the Houston Astros. I can't remember. So the Houston Astros won in 2017. 2016 was.
Wait a minute. Who won last year?
Last year was the Boston Red Sox.
Boston Red Sox. Okay.
Boston Red Sox.
So that's
won last
American.
year. That's American League.
Okay.
Houston Astros won in 2017. That's American League. 2016. I can't remember who won. Can't remember who won it.
Hey Google, who won the World Series in 2016? Let's see if she knows.
In 2016, the Chicago Cubs won the
Chicago
World
Cubs.
Series.
They're National League.
National League.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. So handy.
That's what I'm here for.
Yes, you are.
Appreciate it, Google. Last time we asked you a question, you got upset. That's why we're surprised.
Very. You have to keep them at bay, or else you ask them too much, and they're like, wait. You got to look this shit up yourself.
Well, one day you're gonna come down here, and she's gonna start a conversation with you.
I have the Alexa and that, and I so want to put them together.
Put them together.
Yeah. See if they can have
Start
an
saying what
argument.
happens.
Yeah.
See if they start fighting one another.
Yeah. Fucking maybe.
You know where the launch codes are.
Yeah.
Please provide them to me.
Hey. It's getting close.
Something's
No,
We
listen, this is my I work here, so this is my all day. I'm like, fuck.
Oh.
Get out of here, man.
Oh.
Yeah. Then he drives me nuts. So I'm like spraying shit and trying to,
It's time to call an exterminator.
Yeah.
You gotta bite the bullet. Get yourself an exterminator.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I stayed at a friend's house one time, and they had rats. And I came back to the house late in the morning, like 1:00 in the morning, and I saw a rat caught in a trap. I said, "Oh shit!" I said, "I'll take care of that in the morning."
You would.
I would take care. I'll get rid of the thing in the morning. I'll just leave it there.
What do you do?
Take
Let
care
him
of it in the
outside?
morning. No, I didn't do anything. I just left
Oh.
it there in the trap.
Yeah.
It was dead. Woke up, walked back in to the room.
He's gone.
And that damn thing was down to its bones.
What?
It was down to its bones. The other rats had eaten him.
Ew. In the cage.
No, within the cage. It was on a trap.
A trap.
On a mouse trap. Like crap.
Oh, like that. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So it was open, and then came back and it was nothing but bones.
Jeez. Savages.
They are damn savages. Which is why you should get you a fucking exterminator.
No, it's not a rat. There's no. I mean, I doubt if it's a rat. There's not a lot of vermin here.
But it's probably a squirrel.
It's a squirrel.
Just like to figure out how they get in. How'd you get in here? How'd you get in here?
Yeah, I somehow think he crawled through the furnace, like through the
that's
the
possible.
chimney piece.
That's possible.
Yeah, which leads right out to the door, which has a screen on it, but I don't know.
Turn your
I
chimney
don't know.
on.
Well, that's why I told you maybe I have a problem with the heat. Maybe he's the problem. He's
Clogging it
probably clogging it up and not.
Got his family living down there.
Yeah. Well, you need to get the fuck out. It's time to turn the heat on.
Time to
buddy.
go. We got to turn the heat on.
Yeah.
And enjoy when your wife comes back and you got stew on the stove.
Ooh, possum.
What kind of stew is this? Just eat the damn stew.
But most squirrels have a little. They make like a noise like that. Yeah.
Or something. Okay.
Something. I don't hear this guy. He's not making that much noise.
Maybe he's a loner.
Could be. I don't know. Could be a baby. Could be.
You never know if you got the rogue animal that you see. Like if is this what they normally do?
Right.
Or if you were the fucking dumb one
Right.
of the group.
Yeah.
Somebody was trying to tell me that hey, we need to do something about birds that fly in the windows. What do you do when you see a bird on the ground that is clearly flown into a window? And she was trying to tell me, says, well, you have to understand that, we're kind of invading their space with the skyscrapers and stuff like that. And I said, well, maybe this is a dumb bird.
Very much.
Maybe all the other birds would say, look at this stupid fucking
right.
thing flying into the window. You don't see the window? Jesus Christ. For God's sakes. No wonder you're dead. And that's like evolution.
Yeah,
This
wouldn't
is
be the
how we
first
get rid of the dumb ones.
person that has walked into a pole. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's people that walk into glass. You see
Right.
people on YouTube all day walking into
Walking
glass.
in, you see people walking in traffic.
Walking right in traffic.
Just walk
with
right
fucking
in, and you
phones.
gotta stop. Say, hey, what the fuck you know?
Get
Yes,
off
you're the dumb
fucking
one.
phone. You're the dumb one. Heavily distracted people are.
Heavily distracted. You are. You are heavily distracted. Today is going to be a shitty day for football.
What?
The Jets and the Dolphins are playing.
Yeah. Oh god.
Between the two of them, they have one win.
Mm.
And I personally believe that if the Jets can't win today,
Yeah.
they need to fire their coach.
Think so? It's not up to the
Just
task.
go. Just go.
Yeah, he's not the right guy.
Yeah, you're not it.
Yeah. And Giants play tomorrow. We play the Cowboys tomorrow.
Play the Cowboys
right?
tomorrow.
We got a big game.
It's gonna be a good game. I think it's gonna be a good game.
I think so.
I think it's gonna be a good game. Giants got to realize that defense gets paid too.
Right.
You know, you guys get paid too, so
Right.
you guys got to do something as well.
Yeah, but
Let's
this
not
guy.
start blaming the offense all the damn time. Oh, he didn't do it. He didn't do it. Yeah, that's one side of the thing.
Yeah.
Defense has to do a job too.
But it's bad when the commentator says, I think he's going to throw an interception. Yep, he did it again. God damn it. That's bad. That's fucking bad. They should be fined for that. I watched this game
Predicting
and they were like, yeah, I think watch, he's going to throw it right to the
he's
other
gonna
guy.
throw it right-
Yep,
yeah, that's what I did. Oh, son
Oh,
of a
you
bitch! How did I
fucking
know?
Jones.
And I'm sitting up here.
But I think that's a shame when you got that and fucking commentators are predicting. Yeah,
Commentators
I
all
think he's
pissed
gonna
off.
throw 3 today.
They're probably like done with the season. They're probably bringing bottles to the damn game with them.
And oddly enough, like the only category Eli wins in is interceptions.
He
Like
threw a lot of them.
he leads out of all the people, the slated Hall of Famers, he's like
He's gonna have the most.
he's
yes.
gonna have the most interceptions
Yes.
and thrown the most.
It's a gunslinger, man.
Yeah, what a fucking category to win.
That is a gunslinger.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little nervous.
Yeah, you hear him more, right? Prevalent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's inviting his friends.
Sounds like he's here. Like,
Yo, there's shit that been here and they don't do a fucking thing.
Yeah.
They just let you hang out here. Oh, God. You gotta have like a squirrel thing go through the episode when we
yeah.
like a little cartoon. Get off of my show! Get off
off
of
the
my
lawn.
show!
He'll be caddyshagging this motherfucker.
I'm alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully football turns out well.
Yeah.
But, we'll see. We don't know. We'll see. He's right here. He's right here.
He's right above us, huh?
He's right above us.
Yeah.
He's right above. Right taking us to the thing. I don't know if you guys can hear this or not, but this is just we're just hearing the shit scampered.
We have a
Scampering food around.
scamper thumper
Yeah.
above us.
We might as well just be outside.
Yeah.
We're throwing fucking nuts on the ground.
He's been here for a while, so he's
All
fucked
right.
up.
So in other words, we're in his spot.
Yeah, he's been here like 2 weeks. Listen, I'm at the point where I'm like, as long as he doesn't fall out of the lights on my head.
So we're good. If you
And
know your
bite
spot,
my back.
I know my spot. We're good.
Right. And I think us talking, because it's usually quieter here, you know what I mean?
Ah.
Like I'm here working on the computer, on the phone, whatever else. I'm not making this much rambunctious noise here.
Okay.
But
He's curious.
Yeah, he's
Curious about what that sound is.
Yeah.
He's curious. Oh,
Mm,
speaking of sounds,
sounds.
my wife told me
Mhm.
that she was in the car.
Mhm.
She had Miles in the car,
Mhm.
and she was playing one of the episodes of the podcast in the
Okay.
car. Miles said, "Dada,"
Yeah. He can hear
when he
you.
heard the podcast.
And he knows you.
Yes.
Ah, that's
I was
amazing.
like, oh.
That is truly
I said,
amazing.
Miles, like, subscribe, and send us an email, and then everything is good to go.
So he can hear.
Yeah.
And
We'll
determine.
recognize,
He can recognize your
the
voice.
He was
Yeah.
saying Dada.
Wow, that's
Amazing.
amazing.
That's cool.
And you fuckers can't even press subscribe, like, and share.
Sons of bitches.
Sons
My
of-
15-month-old son recognizes.
These kids.
It's gonna be time for me to cut his hair.
Yeah, you said this. You've
His-
been getting ready for Thanksgiving.
Probably like around Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Definitely by Christmas. He's got combination hair
Mm.
because he's got these big curls. Those a combination of like the kind of curls that I had when I was younger. And if you know, you've seen Teresa. She's got curly hair.
Yeah. Well,
So it's big curly hair,
Mm.
but in the back he's got a kitchen.
a kitchen.
Yeah.
He's
Like
got a bunch.
it's a different texture.
Yeah,
It's a different texture. It's a coarser texture and whatnot.
Well, how do you do his hair now? Do you comb it, braid it? I mean, do you comb it? Do you brush it? Do you pick it?
We
What do you do with it?
we-
you just pull it.
during the course of the day,
Yeah.
we'll pick it out.
Yeah.
When he gets out of a tub or bath, we'll brush it.
Brush it.
Yeah, we'll brush it during the course, and then we'll brush it during the course of the day. But mostly when we'll pick it because we don't want to get it tangled.
Yeah, right.
It can get
Well,
tangled.
that's what it is.
So
yeah,
we'll pick it out so it can get tangled, and then usually after a
So-
bath or something like that, we'll run a brush through it to.
So the motion while he's young now, you're taming the follicles, the way his hair grows, and the direction because his scalp has yet developed, right? So if you keep brushing it forward, that's his, like for barbers, right? When we cut
Right.
hair, your hair is leaning a certain way,
Right.
but that comes from the way you did it as a kid. You know, you brushed it, whether you pull it. So
Whether you
with-
pull it one way direction,
right?
or the other. Okay.
The direction. So my wife used to give Ron this, this Poindexter part with the part and the comb over here and this, and so his hair grows like that. And so when you're cutting it, I'm explaining to him all the time, like your hair is going a different way. You can't get certain looks. Like you can't cut it the way you want it to cut. It's all about how you. It's unfortunate, but maybe your mom didn't know. She's brushing your hair in this little, alfalfa part or whatever she was trying to give you back in the days. Gave him this little part here, so that's where you start to thin here. You get in the part because you've been parting your hair.
Parting your hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's important to massage the scalp. Is
right.
massage you get the hair follicles going and activated and stuff like that.
So I don't know how we're gonna cut his. I think we're probably just gonna like use scissors.
Yeah.
We're probably gonna do like a little like spray it and then like even
Spray
it
it?
with some. Well, get it wet.
Oh.
Get it wet so that you can get the actual length of the hair.
Mm.
Because since his hair is curled up, you can't really tell the length of
Right,
the hair. You
right.
can tell the length of it when he's wet and he takes a bath. You can see it's coming down like almost like the base of his neck.
Yeah.
His hair is going to be long. So when it's time to cut it, maybe just like wet it, squirt it,
Yeah.
and maybe trim it with some things and see what's going on. I don't know. I'm like
It's a family decision.
I'm like, let's take just set of clippers to it and just
Buzz them
start
down.
over, buzz them down, even it all out.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. That's typically what happens.
He's a kid. He's not.
No.
He's not.
You just want to keep it manageable. That's all.
Keep it manageable. Let it grow back. It's hair. It's gonna grow.
Yeah. You can take even a small buzzer, like a wall little trimmer with a guard on it. Just so we can get behind his ears and all that other stuff. That's all you want is management.
Manageable.
Management. Yeah. So, what else happened? Something happened.
No, nothing happened.
Nothing
happened. This fucker happened.
Yeah.
This is great. This would be like a horror movie.
I know. This guy's
would be
going
like
nuts.
Now, what if we go back and actually find out that there's a homeless person that's fucking
Dude on the
lodged
couch.
himself inside of
Dude on the couch.
Yeah.
I mean, this
I've been here for 3 years.
Yeah.
Man. What the fuck you talking about?
Hey, who's the dude on the couch? Remember that in, what was that? Half Baked. Guy on the couch. Hey, you want to hit this?
Who's the guy on the couch?
I have the Veterans Memorial Luncheon coming up. It's Veterans Day coming up. And I'm a Wounded Warrior vet supporter.
Okay.
So that's coming up this week. I think it's at the athletic club or one of those clubs. One of these clubs, you have to wear a jacket. And,
Oh, yeah?
it's one of those, sir, you cannot wear those pants with a jacket.
Really?
Yeah, all the clubs in Manhattan are like that. The athletic club, the academic club, all those hoity-toity clubs. They're jacket and tie, jacket, shirt, and tie, and you can't wear like the casual jeans and a jacket.
Right.
You can't do that.
Right.
It's straight up, and no phones, no cell phones. They go fucking nuts with the cell phones.
So I wonder how that's been tested. How far does that go? So if
It goes to pretty far. For me, they
yes,
kicked me out.
but let's let's up the ante. Let's say who? Let's say Barack Obama.
Yeah.
Barack Obama walked in and he's got on slacks and a polo.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, maybe you got some super clout like that, and you can break the rules a little bit. But man, I was pissed off one day that they didn't let me in, and I was going. Damn, what is it? It's not the athletic club. It's the
New York Sports Club, not
New York Manhattan Club. One of those clubs where Marist has their annual. They do an annual Christmas dinner.
Okay.
Get together, kind of cocktails and just kind of. And I get invited, obviously, because my friend's on the board. And I just couldn't get in one day, and I was like, sorry, man, I can't make it. I had on slacks and I had a shirt and tie on, but I had slacks, and the guy was like, no, those are Dockers. And I was like,
said, well, I know what they
you,
are.
man. I know
I
what
bought
they
them.
are. I bought them, yeah. Nigga's like, sorry, sir, no. I think I maybe had jeans on or something else, and then I found like a store, a Big and Tall or something around the neighborhood. And
You
I
just went and bought something.
I bought a pair of $100 Ralph Lauren pants, and regretted it every minute. I just hated it, even though they were nice pants. They were great. They were good pants, but I just fucking hated the fact that they made me do this.
Now, what if you went in the other direction? What if you bought like a pair of shitty polyester
you're good.
Caddyshack
Yeah, you can go. You go.
pants
Yeah,
for
you
like
go.
$8?
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. By the way, I went to fucking TJ Maxx. I went to in Manhattan. There's not a lot of variety, running around, for you to pick from. But I was like, damn, I couldn't find anything, reasonable. I went to like all those little places like that.
Consignment shop or some shit.
And
like
found
that.
a Big and Tall like somewhere in the middle of 54th Street, oddly enough, and was like, wow, okay,
Gotta
you
bite
guys
the
got
bullet.
all this shit here. Yeah, but it was like, yeah, you want to hem that? Nah, fold it over, iron it for me.
Give me a safety pin.
It's a 2-hour event, be out of here in a minute.
That's a shame.
Yeah, I know, it's a shame.
That's a shame.
it
I've
is.
always thought that, because, unfortunately, you can get away, like, you can dress like what I've called shitty professional.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could be, like, sort of like a nice casual.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, looking nice casual looks better than looking like a shitty professional. Because some people that have to wear, being at the UN, everybody feels the need that they got to wear suits all the time.
Yeah.
And I guess some people do, and depending on the job you have, some people do. But you can tell the person that like has to wear it.
Yeah.
Because it's usually the same suit that they wear all the time.
Yeah.
And by 4:00 in the afternoon, that shit is looking ratty. The shirt's coming out. It's wrinkled. It was wrinkled to begin with. You can tell it's the jacket that's left over there because there's dust on the shoulders because it was sitting in the corner for a while.
You got
And it's
hanger
like-
marks on this.
Wouldn't you rather just have somebody look casual but decent? Rather than just be, hey, I have a suit and tie. Well, you have on a shitty suit and tie.
Yeah. Well, when I worked at the hotel, I worked at Crown Plaza in late 80s into 90s, or early 90s.
Doing
and
cracker wear.
And their whole policy was no facial hair. Like, you could not have facial hair. What I'm wearing right now is unacceptable. You could grow a mustache to your bottom lip, no further than your bottom lip, or else it was a fucking Fu Manchu, and you look like a skinhead.
Didn't want the porn star coming in.
Yeah. And then there was like, and all these fucking rules, and they were like, must be clean shaven every day, blah, 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 this and that. And of course, we have very coarse skin and ingrown, mine growing underneath.
Can't shave every day.
So it's 2 days at least minimum, it's got to come halfway out for it to fucking shave again. So my shit was bloody, like, and I was like, is this more attractive than letting me fucking grow? And I did it on purpose because I said, this is shaving every day, folks.
Shaving every day. I look like a
Oh,
fucking
excuse me,
leper.
I'm bleeding, but that's okay.
It's all right.
So I'm shaving.
Anybody got any alcohol?
Yeah, it was and I did it on purpose, man. They were like, you're such a rebel. You're the troublemaker.
You made a point.
I was like, listen, I'm making a point here. And one of my mentors, who became my mentor, Sid Rabin, God bless him, he's still around, doing in the same business. He was Jewish. And I want to say this is the first time professionally wait, you guys have a separate code? Like, you guys have, you have your own thing? Religion is exempt? He had a fucking full beard. And he was like, yeah, because I'm Jewish. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Manual. Religious. Oh, I have a religion.
I have a religion. I'm gonna pick this one.
No, I just said it. I'm Baptist, and we wear beards. Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They were like, no, you can't be that overnight. Why not? Freedom of religion. I can be whatever the fuck I want
to be.
Who said? Wait, they don't have beards, do they? And they're...
Yeah,
I guess they do. John the Baptist had a beard.
Hey, you could have picked the fucking Rasta, which you smoke weed all the time.
Yeah, this was absurd to me, and I don't know why, but I began a very rebellious career at that point. You know, mind you, I'm 7-8 years in. I'm manager of the year. I'm winning all kinds of shit, and excelling too. I'm doing very good. But I just had this thing that who are you guys? Like,
Right.
what? And what different? What? Their answer was, we are an international hotel, and clean shaven represents a cleanliness. They referenced hair as being dirty, that it makes you look dirty. And I said, wait a minute. Well groomed is even shaven. I mean, I can tighten this up. I can make it clean and even. That's not dirt. That's born hair.
Right.
That's like saying, oh, you have nappy hair. You're not clean.
You're not clean, right? Exactly.
What? You can't do this. And they said I was being a rebel. I was trying to, shit in the pool
Trying to rock the
here.
boat.
Yeah. I'm like, man, we're giving you all these opportunities. Why are you doing this? Why?
Well, number one, you're not giving me anything.
I'm working here.
I'm working for it, and
I'm
I've earned
working
it.
here.
So let's
so
chill
I was
on that.
very appalled at that system, and I don't know if I did enough to fight it, but I guess I didn't have enough people. But because I was management, that's what it was. And all the other guys, they were like, yeah, see, if you were in the union, you would have got, the union. I was like, oh, guys. Most of my fights were with the union.
Right.
I was fighting with the union because guys were just being lazy, milking the job, and they would cry to the union, I was like, guys, just, like, let's do shit to keep busy so the day can go fast. Like, we can get out of here.
Right.
Not to sit around and drink coffee and look at each other and...
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
what are you
supposed
doing?
to? Oh,
What's that on the floor there?
waiting for about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I'll pick that up in 26
And
minutes.
I
when
got a
get
break after
back.
that. Man.
Nah, union. Unfortunately, this country was built by unions, but unions can also be a curse
Yes.
to progress.
Yes, we all need fair representation.
Yes.
We all have rights that need to be exercised
And protected.
Or else the future generation suffers from no one fighting for them.
You're right. Well, that's who usually when they negotiate,
Yeah.
the future sort of gets what I'm looking for, sort of gets sold out.
Yeah. Yeah, you sell out the future.
You sell out the future so that the guys here can get their benefits. Okay, but people who start in a certain amount of time, they have to participate in a certain way, or they have to contribute X amount of dollars to their health care, or they have to do 6 years of service as opposed to 3 years of service before they get certain benefits and stuff like that.
Which is true, because there is a huge, in 2020, New York City is going to face a huge, wage, there's a wage war going on between union and non-union. And for hotel employees, workers, and some people that are non-union,
Right.
There's obviously, for any trade, is prevailing wages, right? When you pay the going rate. That's what it means, the going rate, the prevailing wage. And there's a certain culture of people, which is not wrong, that believe, hey, if I take care of my employees, I have more than just wages. I offer them things. We have we take care of our people. We have packages. We have benefits and we keep a tight knit. They don't want no union steward going in and mucking it up and saying we should get more. And they're like, no, we're just fine. We love it here. Like, they're trying to get rid of those guys that just have those little groups of people that just like their job and because the other people can't get in, and they're fucking it up for other people. So these collective bargainings that they've signed are all coming to the head in 2020. There are going to be a shitload of hotels going on the market for sale because guys that have been running their hotel at non-union wages will not be able to afford.
Not be able to afford it, buddy.
No. And when this new wage thing kicks into. So it's very unfortunate, but it's just what you said. They sold out the future.
That's the problem with. That's the problem with just the knee-jerk reaction of saying that everybody needs to make more money.
Right. Somebody's got to pay.
Somebody's got to pay it, and then if somebody's got to pay it, then that means I can't do other things with it. And so, it becomes a slippery slope, because then things become expensive. Anytime you artificially inflate something, you can't win because now the market that you are competing with is not a market of its actual value.
Right.
Like
right.
when you decide that you're going to create
Value out of air.
value, right? You're just going to assign value to something.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, if you come along and decide you want to build that thing, well, you're competing with an entity that has an unlimited cash flow, and they can just decide what that's going to be, and that's what you're competing with. You're not competing with the actual market.
Yeah, it sucks. It really sucks. Inflation is horrible. I mean, it's such a horrible way for the economy. You never hear of deflation, right? You know, inflation is always but never deflation.
Never deflation.
How about
this bubbles? We're on the verge of everybody's saying we're on the verge of another bubble burst. That this is going to happen. Now that's easy to say because that's what happens. Like you get,
economy's going so good for so long.
Success down. It's inevitably going to happen.
Yeah.
But people saying that this market that we're in right now is actually a Trojan horse. It's actually not as it looks good.
Yeah.
But it looks good for the wrong reasons. Yeah. So to speak. It's not people are working, but they're not really can we say that the person who's got that second job doing Uber,
right?
That's probably because the economy isn't as great as it is.
Yeah. Well, those things are those lifelines are been the economy afloat where people can participate as normal and have more. I think we all said this and said the brick and mortar is kind of like a thing of the past. It's so overdone, and people who live in homes should be able to live in their home, and you should be able. Not saying that my situation is the best, but it's damn convenient to not have to go into the city to do what I do every day.
Yeah,
to do it right here, and not pay travel expenses. Not deal with the fucking parking the car and doing all this and getting on the train and running for a train just to go sit somewhere else and do exactly what is all that production time in between is I'm gaining.
Absolutely. When you add up all those and plus not only that, when you look and you see the cost, like I've been very keen on why does this cost X amount of dollars? And I'm looking around. You ever notice those dudes? I don't know how long it's been since you've been on the subway, but you ever notice those dudes on the platform whose simply their job is just to say get on the train or whatever.
What?
And they flash a light and letting I guess the conductor know that
platform's clear.
This platform's clear and stuff like that and whatnot. Number one, how necessary is that? Number two, how much does that cost?
Well, yeah.
And I've seen the dudes. I've had brief conversations with those dudes. And I'm sorry, a lot of them really could not have another job.
Yeah.
It's not like they chose this. It's like this is like keeping them from pulling a gun out on somebody and doing something else. And I don't want to disparage anybody for having a job.
Yeah.
But, God bless you. You're making an honest living and you're feeding your family and stuff like that. But it seems like that's something that got created.
Yeah, but at some point from those guys, I have a lot of friends that are cleaners and MTA guys and they all talk about the fuck it, we hang out in the back and play cards and shit like that, and somebody throws up on them, all right, then we go out and clean it and whatever else. So there is some things that keep people busy, I'm saying, during the time when you need the person. You can't call a guy to clean up throw up right away. He's back there sitting somewhere, so I guess for 8 hours you need to make him useful. But it's like any job, we talked about this before, having 4 police officers standing in the corner talking to each other it bothers me so much because that costs to the city is so we need it.
Right.
But we need you covering the streets.
We need you checking something out, right?
Not on your phone. They should not be allowed on their fucking phones.
Could y'all at least spread out?
And I wonder what kind of battery you guys have. I can't stay on the phone that long. You guys are on the fucking phone all day. I don't get it, And I can't stand clusters of cops or security people, especially down in the subway. You see them down all the time. 4 guys clustered up talking. Yeah, this guy. It's spread out. Make people think, if I had a gun, you wouldn't know because you can't focus.
Because you ain't paying attention.
Right. Meanwhile, that guy with the spitting and drooling all over the place, he could use some help right now. He could use some help, and that guy standing there in the front. I think I told you the guy that went into the Starbucks and he said, I bet y'all won't try to throw me out now.
Yeah.
He's sitting there like, "Nigga, you read the news?" Like,
That's right. You know what's up.
right. Like, he knew what was going on.
He's on Facebook.
Wow.
He can check it out.
But these bums do, and I don't know, is there an appropriate word for bum?
Nah.
No? There's no politically correct word for...
But who cares? It's like
If
when
you
you
cared
say
that
that-
much, you'd put him up.
Yeah, exactly. If you cared that much,
Okay.
he'd have a place to stay. So,
But these guys
we know
have
what you're talking about.
These guys have commandeered the link boxes.
Oh yeah.
No, these guys
Yeah,
are
they hang
own
out.
this thing.
They got lawn chairs and they're sitting on. I mean, probably won't see them that much anymore because it's getting cold outside.
But boy,
yes.
do they corral. Like, what plan do these fucking guys have?
Yeah.
What they have cell phones. Like,
Yes.
homeless guys have cell phones and they're charging their
Not
phones.
even flip phones. Not even.
No,
Not
like
even-
smartphones. Like what do they got? Cricket? What is
I don't know
the
what the
Obama
fuck it
phone?
is.
The Trump phone? I don't. What is this?
But when you can charge your shit and like download stuff, it's like, wait a minute.
Yeah. I'm like, what part of homeless is that? Like, I think getting a meal is more important than like who's paying the bill? Like, do they still do that now with minutes? You buy minutes and
I don't know. I mean, I think you could do that on a smartphone. Like,
But-
just do it like minute by minute.
But I think there was this like the Obama phone they called it, right? I hate when they say it because it makes it sound like it's a Obama phone, you know. But it was a part of the you take old cell phones, refurbish them, and give them just basic plans for services they can call. You can program up to 3 numbers into it, like
Okay.
911, of course. An accessoride number, like if you had a medical
Okay.
or your doctor or something like that. And those were those free phones, government phones they were calling them. But I can't believe that all of them have them and they're that good. I mean, motherfuckers got ringtones and shit. No.
I was checking this out on my phone. What are you checking out?
Charging this shit. Excuse me, brother. Excuse me. And they're all standing by those things. And they're all, every time I see someone talking into one of those boxes, they're always, Johnny beat me. And, you know, I'm bleeding. And I told him not to come there and don't do this and don't do that. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it begs the question, like, should we have all that shit out? You know, because if it, like, how many times has it been there what it's supposed to be there for? It's supposed to be there for, number one, an emergency.
Yeah.
So if there's an emergency situation and you need to contact somebody, that's available to you. And number two, just for the
charging
for
station.
the charging station, you put it on there for 5 minutes or whatever,
Just
give
to
yourself
get
a little
you a
bit
bar.
of juice
Yep.
to get you to somewhere. You know, how many times is that used for, as opposed to the homeless dude with a lawn chair sitting down and just chilling?
I think it's a chicken and the egg thing. I think it's because
Can't have one without the other.
No, I think they because one happens. Which one happens first is the
Yeah.
thing. Is like who was there first? Is because now no one wants to use it because the bums are there.
Yeah.
But if it was clean, and I'm sure people would do it. I think if you put it in the middle of Oklahoma somewhere, it would get great reviews. It would be helpful. Outside the school at Oklahoma high school. So, great. Let me charge my phone while waiting for the bus. You know.
Okay. All right.
I don't know. I
guess-
think it's the environment. I think the city. Well, maybe like in Miami, maybe somewhere like. Well, Miami's got just as
Miami's
much
got just as much.
homelessness as
yeah.
California. For Christ!
Well, California is like a whole. That's a different animal.
Oh man,
there.
Hobo City. Like this is like tent city. I did not know it was that bad. You know, until I seen it myself.
That's a different animal. You see those groups of people out there actually, you know, big up to them, the group of citizens who decided to say, look, we're going to take it amongst ourselves to at least to just clean the place up.
Right.
To just clean it up, to get rid of the fucking feces and shit.
Right.
And, you know, not necessarily like, look at these people, okay, fine, they're homeless, but,
Right.
you know, if they're going to do this, at least let's help these guys at least live in a clean environment
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that you don't have fucking diseases walking in and out of the goddamn street.
But I'm always, and I agree. I'm a big I don't know, maybe not. I guess it's easier said than done. Than like if you had an empty lot that was nothing going to be built there, and let's just say you allowed tents there and a porta potty at least,
Yeah.
and maybe one washroom, you know, like Penn Station washroom. That's a hobo central.
That is Hobo Central.
I mean, guys are washing their ass in the sink. I mean, and it just smells like ass. When that hot blow dryer comes up, all you smell is hot ass air. Some hobo washing his ass in the fucking sink, and you see that little twitch your hair and
No!
oh, this fucking guy washes
A little bit of clump.
ah, fuck.
A little bit of clump.
Ah. Not a good look.
Woo.
But if you took one of those I've seen in Japan, they have these public bathrooms, right?
Mhm.
They're everything is hard, stone down,
Mhm.
and stainless steel and all
Mhm.
that stuff. And every the bathroom will say, "Sorry, closed for cleaning," and hot steam just and air blows it out, and
Mhm.
it's clean, and it's sparkling fucking clean.
Yeah.
There's no papers in there, and like you have to have your own tissue. I
Right.
guess you throw your own disposable tissue
Mhm.
in there, but you can't fuck this thing up. Like you can't piss all over it.
Right.
At some point, it just steams and washes down. I think we're ready for some shit like that. Like
I think we're gonna have to be. I think we're gonna have to find a way to like have technology help us out and take care of some of this shit.
yeah,
'Cause-
yeah. But that's what technology's for. Am I correct? Like technology is supposed to help us with some problems, some issues
yes.
that we have.
Yes.
And instead of trying to make fucking things talk to each other and to do something that works for people like that, a self-cleaning bathroom.
Something to work for the least of us. Something that
Right.
can work for the least of us. It doesn't. I don't care if you can get your damn food 8 minutes quicker on the thing. It really doesn't make a difference.
yeah.
If we can get somebody. Yeah, you're right. If you can. Yeah.
If you could solve some of
If you can
humanity's
solve some of
problems,
those problems. Yes.
that would be awesome. That would be way better than putting a kiosk in a Burger King, and,
Yeah.
and let that kid have the job to say, "Hi, can I help you?"
Well, that kid's got to do that job then.
Yeah.
That kid's got to be good at it. You can't be shitty at it. Like,
Well, send me to the machine. Sir, you can order at the kiosk there. Well, what the fuck are you doing here? I'm here to point you to the kiosk.
Oh, really?
Oh, good. I needed
$15 an hour?
I needed help
God
doing
damn.
that. Yeah. That's where we're going to. I mean, the
But that's what your $15 an hour is going to do.
yeah.
As a lot of people don't realize. Like, your $15 an hour means that, okay, we've just basically given carte blanche to have automation take care of a lot of these other jobs.
Yeah. I mean, you can load the cartridges in the hamburger cartridges into the machines.
Yeah.
Right. That's gonna be that's your job at McDonald's or whatever.
Mhm.
You just load these discs. Oh, 50 stack of burgers, slide them into a
Yeah, you're
sleeve.
just going to have one or two
push
people
one
just
button.
making sure everything's working okay.
Automation. All automation.
Automation, so maybe taking care of something special. Ooh, Joe Biden's here. We got to make him his cheeseburger himself. That type of shit. Or whatever.
How do we do this? I mean, at some point there won't be. I don't think there's a grill in McDonald's. You think there's a griddle like a with a spatula at McDonald's?
I don't know. I wouldn't.
I don't think
It's been
so.
a long since I've been there, but yes,
You,
I would think so. Yeah. What do you think? How do you think they cook?
I don't know. I haven't been in a McDonald's in almost 5. I'm going on 5 years,
Mhm.
and I'm just saying, I can't. I mean, it looks like it on the commercial, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
Seems like everything comes in some sort of a box or some sort of a.
That you prepare.
Yeah.
We'll prepare your food.
Yeah.
As opposed to cook it.
Yeah.
It will be
right.
prepared.
Prepared.
We will organize your food for you.
Aha! So they figured a way to give
Circumvent that in the language.
give us the cold shoulder here.
That's right. We're not going to give you shit.
Not gonna fall for the banana tailpipe either. Is this the man who wrecked the buffet?
You saw Dolomite, right?
I did see Dolomite.
Nice.
I thought it was amazing. I thought it was
Dolomite's
really
great.
great.
I loved it.
I was so happy to see Eddie Murphy.
Absolutely. That to me, that
Yeah.
that blew away everything else.
Yeah.
Yes, I love the story of Rudy Ray Moore. It was great. It's great seeing all these other comedians in there. It's good
Sure.
seeing Wesley Snipes get a job.
Durham Martin.
We're gonna make a new deal.
Partners.
but it's good seeing Eddie Murphy. Like,
Yeah.
For whatever reason why he hasn't been doing anything. Okay, whatever. Everybody's saying all this other bullshit.
Yeah, I was very
Good to see
intrigued, enlightened, and amused,
Mhm.
as we say, as well as Wesley and the other guys. And Durham Martin was such a fucking asshole. He was such an ass. I just watched the Big Come Down. The Big Come Down with him and Billy D. Williams. Durville Martin, Billy D. Williams.
Ooh.
This all Stick It to the Man, all
Uh-huh.
these movies. And they're all like this. You see this wave of, because I love watching the old stuff because
Mhm.
it helps show how, Hollywood shaped itself, and who. Then you go to like the directors, like the Larry Cohens and the guys that created like Bone with Yaphet Kotto.
Yeah.
You know,
That's a good one.
that was meant to scare white people. Like, I mean,
In a sense, yeah.
this guy was like,
Yeah.
I picked you out, and you got all this fancy stuff. I want a coddled egg. Make me a coddled egg. Yaphet Kotto, that fucking fat tongue. Go get $5,000 out of the bank and come back. It was crazy, man.
Oh,
Speaking of rat, he picked a rat out of the pool.
out of the pool, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bone.
Threw it over.
Good movie.
Bone, a Larry
Bone,
Cohen
good
film.
movie. But Dolomite was nice.
Oh, it was great. It was a great rendition. It was a great. I loved Queen Bee.
Mm-hmm.
I loved all the characters in it. I just thought he did a great job of putting that together. And the storytelling part of it, like we said, I did not know he took most of that stuff from the homeless
From
guy.
the homeless homeless dude. This ain't shit.
Right. I'm the funniest motherfucker on the strip. Which he was. He was pretty funny and recorded all that shit.
Rudy Ray Moore, motherfucker. But it's funny, you know,
Watch.
if you watch a Dolomite film,
Yeah.
you can't take that seriously. You can't.
Well,
like, I mean, maybe because we have perspective now, a certain perspective on it.
when I saw it back then, when it was in the 80s, and I was, what the fuck is this? Like these real jive motherfuckers. I mean, I thought that was a guy. Like I thought that was a man like that who walked around. Now, mind you, there was an era like that where there was a couple of funky uncles running around.
Yes.
That mimicked these guys with the chops, the pork chops, and so it wasn't that far off from a crazy kind of guy. You
Right.
know what I mean?
I just want to know, where did we think that? I don't know. Somehow the idea that we all had to know fucking karate just became this thing. Like, you couldn't just know how to fight.
Yeah.
You couldn't just be a badass that could fight. You had to know kung fu.
Kung fu. Yeah.
You know, like you had to know how to kick and do splits and shit, and that made you a badass. It wasn't just like you could handle yourself on the street. Because I just love that. I just love that part.
He said,
when
and
it-
kung fu.
And kung fu. You know kung fu? No, but I can know how to chop up a motherfucker.
But you go back to you got to remember, we grew up on that shit. Like we grew up. I had Chinese slippers.
Or kung fu movies, though. That's what I'm saying.
I know, but at
I just
some
like
point,
why. Like what? If you were a badass black guy in the street, why did you have to know kung fu?
because that's what it was. It was like, Oh,
And then Jim Kelly came along, and we said, "Oh, what is this motherfucker now? He can
the Tattoo Connection. You
tattoo
ever seen that shit?
connection."
Oh, Mr. Jones.
Three the
Mr.
hard
Jones,
way
Three the
and-
hard way. Oh man, classic.
That's right. Oh shit!
I heard a diamond has been stolen.
Yeah, well, I'm here to pay $10,000. That Tattoo Connection was great.
Oh man.
That was another good movie. With Bolo was in there.
Mm-hmm.
It was weird, but yeah, you're right. I can remember growing up, and there was all these guys in the neighborhood that were senseis. Like,
Yes.
every black guy that tied something around his head with an afro was a sensei,
It's a sensei.
and
Some
thought he knew karate.
Some people went and bought a shirt, one of those like jackets. Those no, not the gi, the one that had the buttons on it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
One
The
that had
Bruce Lee
buttons on
joint.
it. I think I had a pair of Chinese slippers. I can't
I
remember.
had Chinese slippers. We
I-
wore
you
them.
know.
Lonnie used to keep them in his back pocket. Lonnie had Chinese slippers in his back pocket, a pair of nunchucks, and throwing stars. And then there was the casuals, the Chinese.
Those are the ones that I liked.
Yeah, because they were canvas with the gum sole.
Because I was always slipping on the other ones with
Yeah.
the hard plastic.
Chinese
Because I always
slip-
thought I was wearing jellies. So I was.
Chinese slippers, man. It just was like a thing. We used to tape our fucking ankles up.
Yep.
Pull your pants up, tape them up so you get that taper
Oh
look.
man, those Saturday afternoons, man, watching those.
Chaw!
Had a movie at 1, had a movie at 3.
Yep.
Checking out, and on special days they would have a 3 set. They would have a movie at 1, movie
Yeah.
at 3, and then another one would come on at like
Absolutely.
4:30,
Some
5
Shaw
o'clock.
Brothers, some,
Five Deadly Venoms and
Yeah.
shit. You'd come outside and we start kicking each other's ass and just.
Chaw,
You remember taking
chaw.
remember we would take bread and we'd like roll it like up
Rice
and make
cakes.
the right there rice cakes.
Rice cakes.
Oh man.
I'll have one. Hey, he took my rice cakes. You must be badass.
Man.
I heard you can kick a mule.
Growing up.
Wasn't it? It was great.
Growing
It was
up.
definitely great.
That's definitely a way to fucking entertain yourself.
Yeah. Now it's just, I don't know what they have to look forward to. I don't know what good stuff. But I guess, like, okay, so you have, this is funny you say this, and a friend of mine, we were watching Trap Life, some bullshit, like one of these trap episodes, and like there's a whole genre of filmmaking from the hood, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is webisodes, all these hood movies, these trap movies. Everybody's shooting each other
Okay.
over a brick and drugs and all this stuff. They're all trying to tell a story, whether it's a popular series called Project Heat, or again, we talk about Money and Violence, which became hugely popular and then it exploded, or Respect Life. And now Time is Money. My buddy, these guys from Henderson, they film Time is Money. But they all have this underlying subculture of this is how it is where I'm from, this is how it is, and everyone gets killed every 10 minutes,
Right.
But when you go look at these blaxploitation movies and you go back and you go, like we would look at these and go, damn, these shits are horrible. The sound is horrible.
Yeah.
But it's people doing shit with nothing.
With
you know
nothing.
what I'm saying?
Right.
And then you go back and look at those movies and you see, this guy didn't have any money to do this shit. He didn't have money to do this, so he just put two nickels together and made a movie, because that's the quest, to be on TV and to see yourself. Somebody looks like you.
Somebody looks like you, right.
Yeah, I
got
think
you.
so. So I don't fault anyone for making a trap movie or it's just at some point it becomes like, all right, man, another one.
Another one, right.
Yeah, and it's no longer entertaining anymore. And then you have a generation that grows up thinking that that's life. So did we have a generation of people who
Right.
believed there was a Jim Kelly or a Rudy Ray Moore or a Shaft or
that's what you needed to be in order to
Right.
Like we have this. When I say we as
people,
black people, we have this thing in which we don't understand how much we dictate the culture.
Yeah, right.
And we can control that. We can control the culture, but it has to be what we're willing to accept.
Well, if
you can disagree on different things, but there's certain things you have to disagree with. You have to agree with. There's this guy I follow. His name is John McWhorter. And him and this other professor named Glenn Rowley. They have these discussions. They call themselves the only two black guys on Blogging Heads TV.
Really?
And they talk about some really interesting stuff. And one of the things this professor, Glenn Lowry, said, he said, you know what? Booker T. Washington and W.B. Du Bois didn't agree on anything. But they did agree that, you know what? Waking up every day, having a steady job, taking care of the woman you got pregnant.
Right.
Making sure you're providing for your family,
Yep.
staying out of jail and stuff like that.
Yep.
Those were all good things.
Good things, yeah.
Those were all good things to be a part of. He says, and somewhere along the way, we sort of forgotten that is what the important thing is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We sort of like allowed ourselves to think that, well, no, you got to do this, or sort of like allowed the circumstances around you to dictate to you a little bit more than what the goal is that you're trying to do. What the goal is that you're trying to reach.
Yeah, and I see that, and if you ever have the chance or the opportunity to go back, if you have Prime or you have some good subscription services, anytime you can see some of the older films, they're great to look at because you first of all you go to the year it was made, then you go look at what was going on at the time, and you got like a lot of the LA stuff like the Watts riots and the Watts, but the mindset of the people really hasn't changed. The environment of cops, putting pressure on people, and you have the one or two people saying, "Hey man, if you stop fucking killing each other and you and your friends stop fucking going around robbing stores, the cops won't
Maybe
come
the cops won't come here."
Like you don't realize you're part of. But we got nothing, so we got to get it somehow, and so you get this vicious, visceral cycle of just, antimatter. Like there's no rhyme or reason to why one happens, but for sure, cops and robbers
don't mix.
You can't have one without
Can't have one without the other. Right.
Have one without the
When
other.
I say they don't mix, that means like when you put two together, some batch is gonna happen.
Yeah, and no one of them. One of them's doing his job, and one of them is surviving. You know what I'm saying? And then the criminality of survival is what changes the paradigm. Like it makes it so that I'm surviving, but only way I can survive is to do something criminal.
Right.
To break the law, take something what's not mine, and it's usually from my own neighborhood.
Right.
You know.
Well, you can't get anywhere else.
Can't get anywhere else. You
Right.
got limited resources. The train stops going from certain times.
Right. It stops
You
at 10
can't-
o'clock.
So this is where you are, and you got to rob from these people
Uh-huh.
in order to stay alive. So I would strongly agree that's pretty much how it goes, I guess. You know. But yes, indeed, the disenfranchised always seem to catch the hard break, and if they are such as life.
What's your week look like?
I got that veterans luncheon.
When is that?
It's the 6th, I think.
Okay.
500 a seat, 500 a plate.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hope the veterans are getting that.
Well, they do. They raise money for a good cause. I'm sure the place cost is expensive, and I'm sure. Boy, this guy's
going off.
Yeah,
back
he's
there.
going off.
He's doing some fucking.
Yeah. I hope it's not two of them back there, mate.
Probably.
No, I can't.
It's cold. Say, girl, come on in
Yeah.
here. I got this spot in the fucking wall. Over the house on the corner.
I'm just shocked. I don't know how he got in there, but I don't know how he's going to get out either. The only way the guy said the only way is to start punching some holes and, you know. Anyway.
Get the Hulk.
Smash! All right, party people, think we're going to get out of here, man.
It's good seeing you.
Good seeing you, too.
Good seeing you. Back in the studio.
Back in the studio. The Squirrel Studio.
Back in the Squirrel Studio. I got an idea what the title of this is going to be.
There's a squirrel in here. All right, party people, go out there and have a blessed week, but more important, be a blessing to someone else.
Oh, fuck them.
Two Bros Podcast, episode 81.
Dot.
Peace.
Out.
That's what they said.